Understood. Hey guys, welcome back to my examination series. So today I have a different guest. So far I've talked about JEE and all those exams. Today I have someone who's doing undergrad in the US. So that's quite an good option as of now because JEE and all it's really competitive, and undergrad in the US is actually really a good option looking at the opportunities you get there. So I have Apoorv with me today. So could you please introduce yourself to the audience, like talking a bit about your background and all that?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me, AP. Hi, everyone. My name is Apoorv Thite. I'm a rising junior. I'm majoring in applied data science from the Pennsylvania State University in the US. I went there in 2022 and I'm expecting to graduate early 2026. I'm also minoring in economics with my major in applied data science. So that's a bit about my, you know,
Okay. So you went there in
yeah.
2022, right? Okay.
Yeah, I went there in 2022 after my 12th exams.
Okay. So, what were you like as a student before that? Like, could you talk a bit about maybe 10, 12, and all that stuff, like before?
Yeah, sure. So, till 10th standard, I attended Dr. Kalmadi Shamrao High School. I was in the Aun branch of the school. I secured a percentage of 96.2 in my 10th grade board exams, CBSE board. After that, I decided to go by the normal, usual path of preparing for IIT, preparing for CET exams, preparing for all the exams that come in 11th and 12th. Um, so I joined Bakliwa tutorials in my 11th grade and I was studying with them. I was preparing for GE. I was attending SNBP International School for my 11th and 12th. I had an integrated Bakliwa tutorials and school with them. So that was my journey in 11th and 12th. Yeah, so that was basically how I moved in those high school years.
So, could you talk a bit about I don't know about a bit about your hobbies, because many a time these podcasts are really heavy. So, like, what are
Yeah,
your
yeah.
hobbies and all that?
My hobbies are pretty simple. I enjoy watching sports. I enjoy watching cricket. That is something I feel we both enjoy watching cricket.
Yeah,
So, that is something that is a common connect. Apart from that, I enjoy listening to music. I enjoy reading books. I'm particularly not a very fiction heavy reader. I'm a pretty non-fiction kind of a guy. I relate to a lot of stuff, so I'm into non-fiction books. I have recently started having my a go at cooking. I'm learning different dishes. I'm working under my mom, and she's teaching me a lot of dishes so that I can cook there when I'm living off campus. So that is something which is intriguing me right now, and again, very very interesting part of a hobby to have.
it's a nice summer internship at your mom's place.
Yeah, it's an amazing internship. I mean, you don't have to go anywhere. You're learning under the best chef you can have in your life, and it's amazing. It's fun.
Okay, I feel like we align a lot because some of the hobbies you mentioned, I think they all fit with me. I
Yeah,
don't like fiction too
absolutely,
much. I like non-fiction and cricket, as you know. It's in the US. Now,
absolutely.
lucky for you, right?
Yeah, that is true.
Okay. So you said you did 11, 12th in your I don't know, normal route that we have, right? PCM. So
Yes,
when did you
yes.
exactly get this idea of doing undergrad in the US? Like, do you have some sibling or someone that recommended that that's also a good option? Like, why did you exactly go for this option? And when exactly did you learn about it?
Yeah, that was a very interesting journey. I was genuinely preparing for IIT JEE exams till mid 12th standard, and I actually had a group in Bakliwar tutorials where they were usually talking about giving SAT exams, giving TOEFL exams, or giving all those kinds of exams apart from KVPY, BitSat, or all those exams. So I told my parents that it would be a good option to give this particular exam SAT, and we'll see what will happen ahead. I had I had my cousin sister and my cousin brother who were doing their masters in the US, and I approached them asking that if doing a bachelor's in the US is a good option. And they said that it would be beneficial for you in the longer run, and it would make you aware of a lot of things in the surroundings when you come there. So I actually filled out the form for SAT exam 1 month before my exams. So I had absolutely not planned anything. I just wanted to give this exam to see what this exam is and why are people talking about it. So I gave my SAT exam in October of 2021, and I had filled an application for it in September 2021. So I basically did not have a lot of time to prepare for the exam. So I just had 1 month to prepare and I gave the exam. I had to give a couple of English language exams
Yeah.
as well with that. And after that, the application process and everything followed. But yeah, till September of 2021, September of my 12th standard, I did not actually plan of studying abroad. I just knew that it was a good option. But again, people around you influence a lot, right? So a lot of people were deciding to give SAT exams. So that's what motivated me, and the rest of the journey followed.
Okay. So, what was your score in this? SATs out of 1600, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, the SAT is out of 1600, and I had got a 1420 on it.
Okay, 1420.
So yeah,
Okay. So, how did you really adapt? Because in the SAT, it's mainly English and maths, right? Overall.
yes,
And you just have that
yes,
essay thing, right? I think essay is
yes.
optional, right? If I'm not wrong.
Essay is optional. Essay is not required. Primarily, it's English language, English comprehension questions, and maths questions.
Okay. But with you being
Yeah.
a student of PCM with the Indian syllabus, I think maths, I don't think you would have to do anything pretty much because
Yeah, maths was pretty simple. Maths was basic elementary sixth, seventh grade maths. So you just need to know the basics foundation of mathematics, and math section was sorted.
so how did you go on studying with English? Because that is something that is somewhat different coming from, I don't
Yeah.
know, British English background. First of all, that is also kind of different, not a
Yeah.
lot, but the level of English I'd say is pretty higher than standard Indian 11th, 12th English, right? So how did you really
Uh,
go uh, preparing for English?
English language, as you said, was a little tricky. Uh, what usually happens is they have a huge chunk of their exam based on English language and a small section based on math.
Yeah.
What I had to do was I just had 1 month to prepare for the exam, and I did not have any other means of preparing. I couldn't join a class for it, or I couldn't have done anything about it. So what I did was, and what I would recommend everyone to do is, there's everyone must know what Khan Academy is. So Khan Academy has SAT preparation guides, and they have a proper 1 month course flow for free for preparation of SAT exams. So I understood all the modules from that. I gave the sample tests, and that's how I prepared for the English part of the exams. Because English usually takes time. It's not usually very difficult, but it takes time to understand because you have to read long paragraphs and you have to answer 10 questions based on each paragraph. So and the time limit provided for that is very less, so you have to be very efficient. You have to skim through the paragraph very quickly, and you need to understand the gist of the paragraph and then answer the questions based on that. So English took some time to prepare, but yeah, if you solve a lot of sample exams, that would help you a lot while preparing for the English section.
Okay. So you said for the English, it's mainly paragraphs, right?
Yeah,
So
it's
I
mainly
think
bad.
you mentioned you like reading books, so I think that might have helped a bit because
Yeah, and mostly the comprehension paragraphs used to be, newspaper articles.
yeah,
They used to be a gist from a popular speech of a very eminent person. They used to be something that someone has written in their autobiography. They could give it from anywhere, but the language was such that it would sound very formal. It wouldn't be a lot of glorification of the English language. It was simple, but you had to take time to understand every word of it and go forward with it.
okay. So now we've
Yeah.
talked about the syllabus and all. I think in SAT, the main process I would say is the application because once you've cleared the exam, that is definitely a different thing. We've already talked about how to do that. So
Yes.
the application, it's somewhat the system's totally different from India, right? Because in India, what you're doing is you're just doing PCM, you're just studying PCM. Some people go to dummy colleges and tie-ups, like you had mentioned. But
Yeah.
the system over there is more complicated, right? They ask for volunteering hours and ask for the letter of recommendation, right?
Yes.
So how did you manage that? Because I think being an Indian, that would be the aspect that is sort of hard to do. Because if you get that done, then you're definitely gonna go to the US if you get that part done well. So how did you go on
Yeah.
with?
As you said, it is actually very important to have a good application, because that is kind of your resume to get into a college, because the college actually doesn't know anything about you. They just look at your scores. In India, what usually happens is they look at your scores of examinations, and based on that, you're assigned a seat. But there, they have a lot of focus and emphasis on a lot of things that you do in school apart from your apart from your grades. So building a good profile is very important, and for that, I was a part of the school election council. I was the head boy of the school in my 10th grade, so that is certainly something which helped my application, because what they want is, they want that you show some kind of a leadership, or some kind of a uh, what you can say, an important role apart outside of your classroom. So that is what puts more emphasis on your application. So being a head boy of the school, then being part of the election council, being part of the student council, that all, everything that have helped my application. And 11th and 12th couldn't have done a lot of things because of COVID, but till 10th, my application and my profile was a little better than 11th and 12th. So that certainly helped them further.
Okay. And what
Yeah.
about the letters of recommendation? Like, where did you get those from?
So the letter of recommendation, I got one from my 10th grade school principal, Mrs. Gandhi. She was the one who inspired me. She had the vision that you can achieve something in life, and you can go very ahead with this particular track. And she was the one who actually insisted me on taking this path ahead. I got one letter of recommendation from her, and a lot of support from her. And I took one letter of recommendation from my computer science teacher in my 11th and 12th grade, because that is a major that I was going into, and a letter of recommendation coming from that side would be very helpful. So I would recommend getting these two letters at least, so that it supports your major, and it shows that some authority has a significant proof that you can do better and you have a good application.
Okay. So, one
Yeah,
important thing to note down over here is that Apoorv did all these activities before he had any idea that he was going to give SAT and all that. So, that
yeah,
is something important. It shouldn't just be like you're just doing all these activities for the sake of SAT. Like, it's
exactly.
good for your overall development, right? Because they're not looking for a smart person, they're looking more to as a person that is developed in all aspects. Sort of what we can say, they're looking for an all rounder who can sort of do everything. So that was something important that Purva just mentioned. So Purva, how was your experience? Like, let's just talk about this. You got selected in Penn State, right? So what other
Yeah.
colleges, first of all, did you apply for apart from Penn State?
I did not apply to a lot of universities, but I had targeted a specific 5 to 6 top universities that I was going to apply to. The first was Penn State. My priority list, I had Penn State at my top. Then I had applied to Purdue University. I had applied to Arizona State University. I had applied to Northeastern University, where my cousin sister was studying. I had also applied to University of Maryland, and I had applied to the San Jose State University, which was on the western coast. So these were the 5 to 6 universities that I had applied to, and I got into Penn State in the first attempt. So my priority list, I got into Penn State first. So that is where I drew the line.